We are here again for short time after the biggest shock in qualification stage. Germany lost against North Macedonia. Nobody saw it was coming, but it happened. And in general, all qualification games were too tense, and in many games there were some kind of surprises and nobody expected it maybe. And favorite teams, when they won struggling. They didn't win easily. I don't know, I can check now. Maybe I can see Ukraine against Kazakhstan dropped 2 points, and Ukraine started with 2 draws in qualifications. So it is really difficult for favorite teams. And yesterday just I was checking results, and I saw Germany was 1-0 down. Germany was down by 1 goal, and I thought it was going to be a good game. I started watching. As of second half, North Macedonia was playing well, playing correct. Maybe the ball was with German team, but German team wasn't good at all, and they got a penalty out of nowhere. It wasn't a penalty. It just Sane dived, and I think referee had good referee settled in good position, but I think it was too much pressure for him, and he gave the penalty. Since there wasn't a war decision, so the penalty was given. And after leveling game, German team had opportunities also, but it didn't block. It didn't make North Macedonian team disappear on pitch. They played still. They continued to play still good counter-attack games from time to time. And one clear hand from corner kick. There was a handball of a player, Emre Can's hand. Clearly, it was handball, but the referee said to continue to play. So I was so furious. It wasn't justice. It wasn't fair of football. But we know football is not fair for smaller teams, for teams that they have maybe little opportunities to make goals, and when they have when they have their opportunities, when they have correct positions, correct things to do, referee can obstruct them. It was going to be that night, but fortunately I was going for North Macedonia, and fortunately North Macedonia made second goal in a good counter-attack also. It was interesting. Elif Elmas scored second goal just after Timo Werner missed a huge opportunity. It was too similar to position that Burak Yılmaz missed against Latvia. I need to make conclusion for Turkey also. we need to read many games for Turkey also. I don't think Joachim Löw. I never thought that Joachim Löw, as a football genius, coach of Germany, isn't a genius, but there is a settled system. German team have had good system from previous generations to now. Maybe their generation, I think, just as Bayern Munich, they have problems in defensive area and in midfield, maybe defensive midfield and wings maybe, but they have variety of options in other half of pitch, because you have Goretzka, you have Zane, you have Sane, Musiala was on bench. Gnabry and Zane in Bayern Munich, they don't play together generally, but they substitute each other. Gnabry was injured also, but when they play, they maybe play. One of them play at left wings and one of them play right wing and it didn't happen for some for a lot of matches. In just few matches they started as starter 11 starting lineups. So Thomas Müller was out. Thomas Müller has been out by much, maybe for a couple of years, or at least for 1 year. And it is surprise for many of football criticals. Joachim Löw says that it is a tactical decision, but I think it is not too radical decision, because when you have options, when you have plenty of options, when you have Goretzka, and Goretzka is younger than Thomas Müller, and Goretzka is physical than Thomas Müller. The thing is that in Bayern Munich, Goretzka and Thomas Müller play together, but in Bayern Munich they have additionally Robert Lewandowski, which German team don't have. On the other hand, defensive area, we need to talk about defensive area. They played 3-4-3, and we see Emre Can, how he is gross. He doesn't have flexibility. He doesn't have half flexibility that Çağlar Söyüncü has. It is for what I pity for Çağlar Söyüncü, because he is really high quality player. I think he is one of the best defensive players for this year. Obviously he need to keep going. German team, even though they have Rudiger, they don't have maybe decorative, they don't have superstars in their defense. They risk themselves playing 3-4-3, but really they have still have talent. Still they are keep going. I don't think they lost just they wanted to lose. Nobody wants to lose. I think it was accident, and they didn't play well. I'm so happy because now smaller teams with disadvantage, teams with no stars, no expensive players, they can challenge with that big teams, those big teams, and it is funny, it is amusing, it is just nice to see, because when you see same machine and it repeats, uh, week and week after, it is not funny as much as yesterday. I don't know. I always think that favorite teams must be beaten in the end. This is the rule of football, because football has revolution in his blood, in my opinion, and you will be punished when you don't uh, have good performance on pitch. It must be like that. On the other hand, I think German team have huge confidence, because they know they won't be kicked out. They won't be knocked out in this stage. Anyway, they still have confidence, and they will beat other teams, and in revenge games they can beat North Macedonia in away game. And I don't think just because North Macedonia won yesterday against Germany, they can go to World Cup. It's too early to talk, but I love the body language of a North Macedonian coach. When you see something in football, you see he is doing correct. It is so apparent, and you can say it's going to be right, for justice, for uh, beauty of football. He saw just yellow card by objecting to referee, but he wasn't stressful. I think he objected as many coaches could do in his case, in his position, because referee was going to give the game from North Macedonia to Germany. I want to you remember I want you to remember what Cristiano Ronaldo did. Imagine the labor of North Macedonian team. They played. They conceded a penalty that it wasn't a penalty, not at all. Even you watch in war, if it was war, it wouldn't be a penalty. Nobody can give that penalty. On the other hand, they lost one penalty, which wasn't given, and it was like 83rd minute or something like that. It happens. When you play football, when it's just about football, you need to think your team, and you need to think on keeping going. Just this is it, because when your mindset, when your brain, when your head got stuck previous positions, the bad energy, and I think stress will get you to make additional mistakes, additional errors, and it is even difficult to beat bigger teams. So correct attitude, correct tactic in football is too important. We saw Luxembourg won against Ireland. Is apparently it was a away game for Luxembourg, and I just watched like 10 minutes highlights, and Gerson Rodriguez, he was really effective, and I saw just a good forward player, just a good striker. How can he change the game? He chest down the ball, he pass, he settled correctly. He made some correct runs, and he shot to goal from by outside by far from box, but he was effective. He was effective, too effective. Actually, he could find maybe 2 3 goals, not only one, but he could. He created, at least he created some positions almost just on himself, just by himself. So it is too remarkable, high quality goal. He made like just little space. He had just little space just out of the box, and he with first touch, in his first touch, with a perfect turn without ball, he hit the ball and he made the goal. If Luxembourg got their first win, we need to read that in football, in national level, in football, everything is about to change, and things change always. So I'm happy to see that, because every repeating thing we could get us to be bored. So teams that don't do correct things, must be beaten. But in football, we know all things are result oriented. So sometimes you can play good, but you can lose games. For teams like Luxembourg, for teams like North Macedonia, that probably they don't have enough confidence against big teams. It is even more outstanding, more important, those kind of wins. And at least last 20-25 minutes, there is much more pressure than normal games. So I think football will find itself, and with VAR, I don't think VAR is applied good, in a good manner. VAR still, I think some leagues, VAR is used horribly, like awful, because sometimes they watch the position, sometimes they don't watch, but in the end it will be in good hands, and I think justice will come for national football. Justice will come all around the world, just by luck, just by being unlucky. You can lose the games. You can be knocked out. You can be knocked out just by 1 goal, 2 goals, but on counter-attack, on somehow. It is nature of football. Not only playing good football make you win in the end of the day, but referee decisions, I think, too much biased on too much favor. They are in favor of bigger teams. I hope not just after second 3 games that small national teams had the opportunity to oppose themselves against their superstar, full of countries that have full of superstars, like Germany, Spain, Italy, England also. can be counted. I hope them to continue. They need to force. We can see flash scores in football, like bigger game can win 6-7 against 0, 6-0, 7-0, but sometimes I think it must be frequented that those kind of flash scores, like yesterday North Macedonia did, because football is more funny um, when interest and when attraction is distributed, when attention is distributed to many games and many results. It's when we focus just for one football team, or just one football player. In case you can just focus on Robert Lewandowski, Müller, Gnabry. You can just focus on pitch. Cristiano Ronaldo will make goal or not. Messi will use a good free kick or not. It is boring, just because just you need to wait the ball roll to one football player. Then you cannot have that fun of football. But when you see the game, knowing that football is a tactical game, but you need to play with emotions, you need to give your sacrifices as team. When your team concede goal, you can just wait for next position, and we can watch football in different perspective. It is more funny when I really love when smaller teams are one or two, by 2 goals they are ahead. I want them to keep going, and I want them to punish bigger teams to in counter attacks, or I want them to uh, keep the possession of ball, because I want um, a revolution on football. I don't want bigger team. I don't want all biggest teams win year after year. What is the uh, what is the difference then? What is the uh, interesting side of football? And it comes. And it comes true. It is boring. So those kind of surprises made me happier and made me more hopeful than I was before this national break.